Welcome to Integral Intestine. In standing, soften through the knees. Bring the hand to the pelvis, which houses our large intestine. And we're going to circle. Lead with the pelvis. And change direction. So your circling might be quite small. It might grow. It then might diminish. So we're starting on the right hand side, just above where your appendix is, and we're going to follow the large intestine. It's going up, so the ascending, then it will go transverse along the diaphragm area. Then it will descend about halfway. It's then coming across to the midline. And I'll show you from the side. So we're now coming to the sacrum. So from the midline, it brushes down, and perhaps imagine the rectum and the anus. We're going to reach up and swing down. A second time. And two more. You can either continue exactly like this, or you might want to put a raise through the feet. So there's a strong connection between the lungs and the large intestine in traditional Chinese medicine. If we brush down the lungs and continue, it takes us to the ascending and descending aspect of the large intestine. We have a flow to explore this. So I'm going to take one more brush down. Lungs, large intestine. The feet are hip width apart or a little bit wider. And then we're continuing down. So come on down. See how far you can come. You might stop here. You might find that you can come, and you won't be able to quite see this, but with the feet, you've got your hands on the inside aspects of the feet by the medial arch. So you may stay there. Some of you might be able to carry down a bit more. You might even come into the Hindi. Squat. From here, we come back, roll back up, We're lacing 3 of the fingers. We're keeping the index fingers up and the thumbs. They're going above the head. We're taking the weight into the right leg. The left heel comes across. So your tree, you can either stay here or you can come into a balance. We then come back, release the arms, bend back down, and we have the chair. We're taking the left leg and we're going to take it back. Then we're going to bring it in, but we're still staying low. Again. When we come in this time, we slide down to the shins and we lengthen out. Soften through the knees, roll back up. And we'll try all this on the other side. So we have that brush down the lungs, down the large intestine. We're coming on down. You can stop your hands anywhere. I'm continuing right down to the insides of the feet. Then I can bend a little bit more. It might be possible for some to come right down. Then we find our way back out. We're lacing 3 of the fingers together. The index and the thumb stay unlaced. They're coming up. The weight shifts into the left, so we can bring the right heel to ankle area. We can stay here, or we can come into a balance. We bring this down. We come into the chair. We're taking the right leg this time. It comes back. It comes back in. It comes back. It comes back in. Then we extend. And roll on back. So the large intestine meridian. Taking the arm, just turning it so the thumb comes down. Then we are tapping index finger through the webbing between the index finger and the thumb. And we're coming all the way back up to the nose. We have the large intestine 4-point great eliminator. contraindicated in pregnancy because of its releasing capacity. So the webbing between the index finger and the thumb, we bring the opposite thumb into it and press. So as long as you're not pregnant, come into this point. Releasing. Seeing whether you can notice the difference between the left and the right side of the body. So you might be able to notice that for me, my left side has dropped a little bit. It's not a huge amount, and that my right side is more lifted. Let's come to the other side. So, index finger tapping through the webbing up to the side of the nose. Large intestine point webbing, and we're really pushing up to where the two bones meet, the one from the thumb, the one from the index finger. If you're not pregnant, if you are pregnant, then possibly find some movement for your thumb and fingers. Then, welcome fragrance, large intestine 20. So you have the bulbous part of the nose, taking the index fingers and just pushing it, releasing, push it in, releasing. So obviously, anything connected to the nose, sinuses, and the link again between the large intestine and the lungs. Then, taking the arms out, I will turn. So, bow and arrow, one side, the other side. And bring the arms back. We're linking the thumbs. We either keep the arms soft and bent, or we roll the shoulders, see if we can lengthen away. Then we're bending through the knees. And we're just going to fold as far forwards as is comfortable for us. And then we're coming all the way back out. We're adopting a wider stance. This flows for the connection between the legs and the large intestine. If you think about ascending and descending aspects, there's a continuation down here into the legs. We're finding some deep bends. Then we're taking that in to a turn. The right arm is coming back behind. It can either just be quite soft there. For some people, you might be able to take it right round to the opposite thigh. And then we take this into a triangle. So twist beginning to look up. Then the front leg we bend. You haven't changed anything else. We're keeping the front leg bent. We're taking that front arm and it's going to arc back. We release both arms. We turn to the front leg. We lengthen the spine. Rest the hands somewhere on the shin or possibly the thigh, whatever feels appropriate for you to lengthen the spine. And come all the way back up. Turn. Ready to do it all again on the other side. So turning in the other direction. The right arm now needs to slide a little down. The left can come to the thigh. We turn and look up. We bend the front leg. The front arm comes up and arcs over the back. It comes down. We turn towards the front leg. We are extending the spine. And then we're finding our way back up. Return to the neutral standing position. Tune into how you're feeling. And then we're making our way onto hands and knees. I will need to adjust my camera. If you need any supports, if you need a drink, please take them. So settling here on hands and knees. The journey of the creation of the waste products in the large intestine flows in a clockwise direction, so creating some circulations. So whatever direction it appears on the screen with me, you keep to clockwise. Then we take a pause. The left hand now comes to the sacrum, and the left shoulder we lift up. So we have a twist here. We bring that back. The left leg comes back, but we're going to turn the heel out. Like that again. From there, it's coming outwards rather than inwards. This will access the large intestine meridian in the leg. So I just need to slide forwards a bit. We have a rock through here. We then come into the downward dog and pedal. We come back down, and it will be the other side. So it's the right hand this time that's coming to the sacrum. We're turning towards that, looking up. We come back, the hand comes down, the right leg reaches back. We turn the heel out and we rock. We come back. So we're finding the connection between the lung and the large intestine. In this flow, we take the left arm up. Then we scoop under and we're going to stay there. So you're either resting on the elbow or you can come down to the shoulder. The other arm, if it's available, comes forward, either bent or lengthened. We slide that hand back in, and we're coming onto the lower arm. So I'm just sliding across. From here, we take the left leg up, we flex the foot, we pulse. We then take it out to the side. Here we rock side to side. Then we bring the hands down to support. We bend the leg in, but this leg is then going to lengthen back, and the opposite arm is going to lengthen out. We come back, the hands come a little bit further forwards. We'll reach through, feel that reach through the lungs and the large intestine. Then we'll come back. I will turn. for the other side. So this time it's the right arms coming up, is scooping under, either to the elbow or to the shoulder. The top arm comes forward, either bent or lengthened. From here, top arm comes in, bottom arm comes out, and we're connecting through the lower arms. We take the right leg now, it's coming up, it's bent, the foot's flexed, we're pulsing. Then it's coming out to the side. Here we're rocking side to side. We're going to bring the hands down. We're then bringing that leg in. It's going to lengthen back. Then the opposite arm, which is the left, will come out and reach. We bring that in. The hands come further forwards. We have that strong reach to the front, the large intestines and lungs together. And then we're going to find our way into a kneeling position. So it might be a high kneeling position. So you could be high up here. You could be sat on the heels. You could be sat on the heels, but without the toes curled under. Please find the one that's right for you, and obviously change if it starts to become uncomfortable. So we're lacing the fingers together, turning the hands. When you turn the hands, the index fingers will come automatically into large intestine 4 acupressure point. So we bring that up over the head. We come down. The index fingers push into large intestine 20, release. We then find our bow and arrow. So feel that the lungs and the large intestine are twisting you into this. It's not just an arm movement. Then we take the arms behind, link the thumbs. You can keep them bent, have a little pulse for a moment. You can either stay with bent arms or you can try to lengthen them. Wherever you are, see if you can now place the toes under. If that's not comfortable, then obviously find the one that's most comfortable. And then we're going to just take that up. You might stop here. Some of you might have the forehead down. We release out for our final flow on hands and knees, connecting the large intestine with the left. So we're taking both hands to the left. The right leg is coming through. Have a rock here. Then see if you can come down onto the lower arms. Some of you will have to stay on the hands. So hands or lower, and rock again. Then see if you can curl the toes under at the back. Rock again. And some of you might be able to lift that knee. We come back. Return to palms. The front leg now is extending. It might not extend all the way, it might, but we're trying to keep the whole foot flat down. We're coming back. We're taking the right arm up. We have a rotation. So we can turn through the lungs, the large intestine. We come back. We lengthen as much as is comfortable. That leg again. See if this time you can flex the foot. We come back. The back toes curl under. The arm comes up like it did before. You either stay here or take up the back knee. We come all the way down. The right leg is then turning, takes you into pigeon. You have a choice. You can either curl the two toes under, take off the knee. You could bend. And you might also be able to take opposite arm towards that leg. You might even be able to connect. We release out. Well, I do. I'm going to turn around. So it's done on the other side, where both hands are now coming to the right. So the left leg can come through. We have a rock here. So we're either staying on the palms or we're going to try it on the lower arms. Take a pause. So whether you're on palms or lower arms, curl the back toes under, rock again. Take a pause. See if you're able to lift that back knee. Bring that down. If you were on lower arms, now come to the hands. And we are lengthening through the leg, trying to keep the foot down. We come back. The left arm comes up. You might have the toes curled under, they might be flat down. We return. We lengthen again. See if you're able to flex the foot. Then we come back. The toes this time curled under. Arm back up, either staying here or lengthening through that back leg. Twisting as much of the torso as is available. We come back. This front leg now, take it into pigeon. The back leg either flat down, toes curled under, knee up, or bending, and we're taking opposite arm. So it might reach, and that's where you're most comfortable. You might be able to take hold. We're flexing the foot. And we're releasing out of this and coming onto our fronts. So, tuning into your belly breath, or creating some in-breaths and allowing some out-breaths directed into your belly. Letting that breath awareness go and coming into the Sphinx, the low cobra. Trying to push the transverse aspect of the large intestine, so around your diaphragm area. So just trying to, if you can see that, just push that to the earth. And then we'll soften down. We're bending the left leg, the foot is flexed, and we're lifting up from the thigh a few times. The next time it's landed, keeping it where it is, lifting up through the arms. See if you can bring the left arm towards the foot. Now you might be able to take hold and bring that down. If not, pulse the hand towards the foot. If you're in the bind here, come back up. So you're either connecting in with the foot or you're reaching, and then just see if you can lift a little bit more, knee off, chest off, gentle, and then back down. So bending the right leg, flex the foot, lifting a few times. Once it's landed, taking the same arm as leg back. You're either pulsing towards it, you might be able to take hold of the ankle or a legging. Just bringing that close in a comfortable way to the buttock area. Then we are lifting back up. Seeing if we could take the knee off a little bit, lift the chest a little bit. Come back down. So release the hand a moment. We're going to bend the other leg. So your choice is pulsing hands 2 feet. If it's available, you can flex the feet, lift up through. You might be able to rock here. And then we soften it back down. So relaxing here on your front. Then we're taking the arms out. You're going to lose my hands. We're going to slide the left side and the right side, but we're reaching through the index fingers. So through the large intestine meridian. Take a pause. Then we're bringing the arms back. We're linking the thumbs. Just find some wing movements. And then if any of you want to, you can lengthen the arms and just bring them up and give them a pulse. The hands then come down underneath the projecting hip bones. Doesn't matter which one, you slide a leg, let it rise and down. Try to keep the knees straightish. If it's possible, if it's not, then keep them bent. Next time both legs are down, removing the hands, coming to rest the forehead on the hands. Take the left leg, that's a rotation, and then we come into that lizard leg. You've got the foot flexed. So just feeling the release in that hip first. So this might not be comfortable or appropriate if you've had a hip replacement. Then we come to the Sphinx arms. If it's available, see if you can, I'm going to exaggerate this, but yours will be a much smaller movement, but you're pushing down, lifting up, you're kind of pulsing through the hip. It doesn't have to be a very big movement. And come back down. We bring that leg in. Take a moment and just feel the difference between one leg and the other. And then the other leg, you rotate, it bends, flex the foot. settle here. We're sliding up into that sphinx. The leg is bent, the foot flex, and we have that lift up and down. It's actually a pulse. I'm just exaggerating it. So if I don't exaggerate it, it's quite a small movement. But if I exaggerate it for the camera, it's more of a lift up and down. But actually it's the tiny pulse, if it's appropriate for you with your hips. And then we soften back down. We bring the leg in. And we're going to find our way to hands and knees. Take the time you need. When you're here, just allow the pelvis to find any spontaneous movement it would like and take the rest of the torso on a journey. Let that settle. And then we come to sitting with the legs extended. So support through the arms. Starting with the right leg, we're going to allow the right leg to lift up and down. Then we'll take it in. So your knee might be quite high, wherever it feels appropriate for you, and fold. We're sliding back up, and then we're taking the arms on a diagonal fold. We're coming back, taking the leg over here. Opposite arm to leg comes round. We can use this as a support. Going to twist, and then we're going to try and circle on a horizontal plane the shoulders and upper rib cage, and then reverse the direction. We come back. This bent leg, we either support underneath the top leg, underneath the bottom leg, or the foot, and we find our extension, whatever that is. That comes down, and we get ready to go on the other side. So it's the left leg. It's lifting, lowering. I'm not actually touching the floor each time, but you can. From there, it comes in. We take that fold. We come up part way, change the hands onto the diagonal, fold again. We come back. We take the bent leg, we cross, we wrap, we lift, we support, and we circle the shoulders and the upper torso. We change direction. We take a pause. Come to support our leg or foot to take it in to an extension. So your knee might not straighten. Just take it to what feels good for you. And we have 2 straight legs. So we're going to connect lungs, large intestine again. Take it into a fold. So there's a compression of the lungs and the large intestine down towards your legs. Now we're going to go the other way. Lift up through. If you want to, you can take the pelvis off. It does help to point the toes. When we come back down, we're into the fish. Or this modified fish, because we're keeping the neck lengthened. We soften out of this. You bend one leg, that will help you to come back up. So we're still connecting lungs, large intestine. So the tortoise, don't know if you remember this one, but we're either taking the hands through this way with the palms flat down, or we are bending the elbows so that we can take the backs of the hands behind. You find whichever one is comfortable for you. So you have this one, or you have this one. So we're being still here, feeling the connection between the lungs and the large intestine. Some of you might have the ability to slide the legs. Definitely not for everybody. And then wherever you are, find your way back out. And we have the left leg in front. So large intestine 4, we are lacing the fingers together. The index fingers, as you turn them, will connect into large intestine 4 point. We're releasing and we're taking the right hand to the left knee and the left arm is arcing over the right. We come back up. We take our index fingers. We're pressing 1, 2, 3, and 2, large intestine 4. Then the left leg comes up. We keep it here or we cross it over. Some people may even be able to drop the knee. It's opposite arm to top leg. So we've got the left leg over. So the right arm comes up and it bends. The left arm comes back and it bends. Now the hands at the moment aren't touching. If you can keep the elbows still open and touch, please do, but we're looking to open up through the elbows. Let's see what's available for you. And then we release. So the top leg changes for the other one. So the other one comes in front. We have the lace, the fingers. We're going to come up. Come down. We're taking the left hand onto the right knee, the right arm towards the left. So we're both twisting and arcing at the same time. We're coming back. We have the index fingers up. We are pressing one side of the nostril and we're breathing in and out through the other. Then we change over. Breathing in and breathing out. Changing, breathing in and out. Changing, breathing in and out. Give that a little bit of a twitch. We will take the right leg. It comes here, over, drops. We are taking the left arm up, it bends. The right arm. We'll just stop here a minute and pulse the elbows back. And this might be where you're comfortable. Otherwise, we will, if it's comfortably available, clasp, but my elbows are still open rather than collapsing here. Let me release. Top leg comes off. And we widen here. So last blow. We are sliding down. So lots of degrees here. Just find the one that feels appropriate for you. We come back up. The left leg bends. We take the hands down. We reach through. We either stay here or we flex the foot, turn it so we can lift up. Take a pause. And then we find our way down. The lengthened leg comes in. We're on the sitting bones, the legs come together, and we're going to try to hold on to the elbows. If that's not comfortable, just have the hands somewhere under the back here. So we'll come up into half boat, and then the full one. We bend back. We open again. We take that fold. connecting in with your breathing here. And then we find our journey up. This time it will be the right leg comes in, just slide back a bit. We take the same side arm down, we reach through. The extending leg has a flex foot if I want to lift. That brings that all the way up and then back down. We're going to bring it all in, either at wrists or elbows, coming up to half boat. And you'll lose my face for the full boat. And bring that all the way back. And we'll take the feet one way. I'm going to come down onto that arm. The top leg, we're just going to, we're not on the side, we're just to the edge of the back of the leg. So rather than here, we're tapping the large intestine leg meridian. Then I'm going to extend it out, up, down, forwards, back, up, down, forwards, and back. One more time, up, down, forwards, and back. And just bend that leg, just pushing it as far back as it will go. You might be able to take hold, you might not. And then we release. So, to the other side. So we're raising the top leg. Again, we're not actually on the side, but we're just to the back. So it's the outside edge of the back of the leg. We're just tapping down that for the large intestine meridian in the leg. So the meridians are in both limbs. Then we take hold. We are here. We're going to come up, forwards, and back. Up, forwards, back, up, forwards, and back. Bring that in, and then come to a comfortable position. So feel the spine growing up and down. Let the hands come to the heart. Close the eyes. Tune into the internal fabric of your body. The legs now might feel activated. There might be other places where you feel very soft. Some places uncomfortable. There are tingles and twitches and itches. Let your ears be open to the external environment. Through your skin, feel this outer world. And then softly open the eyes to the light, colors, textures, and shapes. And thank you for sharing this journey with me. So, transition time, unless you want to rest in some form or other. You're transitioning, again, the skin, our outer boundary is a good place for change. And I would once again like to thank you very, very much for being with the integral intestine. Thank you.